in that green car as they're getting ready to come down. He had a lot of power last week. Joe Gibbs seems to have solved that problem. A Pontiac has never won a restrictor plate race. To Mike Joy.
Could happen today, Ken. Green flag in the wind. And Jimmy Spencer, he's not stuck in the middle anymore. He's out front.
That's the place he really wants to be. There were those 4 cars down on the inside. Bobby Hamilton and Jeremy Mayfield, Darrell Waltrip, and Dave Marcus all a lap down. Those are the only 4 cars that are a lap down that are still out there. Still 36 cars on the lead.
Buddy, when Jimmy Spencer drove for you taught him a move that allowed him to win at his first restrictor plate race at Daytona. He credited you in victory lane. We were watching from Milwaukee. What was it?
Let me tell you, I told him what to do, but you have to have that ability and that willingness to do the things that I told him. And Jimmy Spencer always had the heart of a lion. When it come time, he used everything he had there. A great race car, and he also used a lot of talent that he had through the years and modifieds and everything else. He had a lot of racing time. It wasn't just what I told him.
What'd you
Teach
him, and what'd you teach Ron Bouchard about how to win here?
Like I said, the game's free. That's what it costs.
All right, Professor. Dale Jarrett and Ernie Irvan are side by side. They're at 4th place trying to make a run back to the lead. Oh, Spencer comes down the racetrack to block. Here comes the high groove after him. That's Sterling Marlin right behind Spencer in the yellow car. Bobby Labonte, the green car up top.
Okay, you see him moving up there. He's going to see if the 18 car, Bobby Labonte, can push him along. I don't think he wants to race with Sterling Marlin. Now he's back down there. He's testing the water to see who's strong there so he can get buttoned up with somebody who wants to play ball with him.
Battery's just trying to hold them all off, Ned.
Well, yeah. No matter how hard he tries, it's not going to work because they're going to be side by side again here before very long at all.
Well, for a couple of laps here, we've had a Ford and a Chevrolet and a Pontiac running in the first 3. The Pontiac's about to drop back to 3rd right now. That's the way NASCAR would like to see it. Have all 3 brands running up front all the time.
Here comes Dick Trickle back to the front. Junie Donlevy's number 90. Tom Baldwin Jr., his dad, a great modified racer on Long Island. Tommy, the crew chief there. Rumors he may be headed elsewhere next season. And Greg Sachs just behind. Number 40. Michael Waltrip in 21. The Lowe's car of Mike Skinner.
You can see him getting antsy behind Spencer there. You see Sterling Marlin in the yellow car there. He looked high, now he's looking low.
And he thought Dale Jarrett was going to go with him, and Jarrett decided he wanted to go on the high side.
Dick Trickle there at number 90 in 6th place, going for 5th. He's going to get it. Here's Ralph.
Mike, he looks great up front right now. The question is, how long will it last? Crew told me he lost a gear coming out of pit road on that last pit stop. They're afraid that transmission might not hold together much longer.
Well, it'll be great while it lasts. Junie Donlevy's always had a good car for Daytona and Talladega. Owns that number 90 of Trickle.
Lead change, Mike. You can see there Sterling Marlin moves in, and look at Dick Trickle in 2nd place now. I guarantee you the Donlevy crew right now, you can't believe how excited those guys get when that race car runs that well.
Pretty much volunteer pit crew for Junie Donlevy there. A little jostling and back, Ned.
Yeah, John Andretti and Michael Waltrip actually touched through the trial there, but they recognized that they were that close together and decided to better position themselves a little bit differently.
80 laps to go at the fastest speedway on earth in the Sears DieHard 500. Sterling Marlin, the leader. Ageless Dick Trickle, 55 years old, running in 2nd. Mr. Excitement, Jimmy Spencer, 3rd. Long Island's Greg Sachs in 4th. Dale Jarrett in 5th. Joe Nemechek up to 6th. 7th is Mike Skinner, Bobby Labonte, Ernie Irvan, John Andretti. That's the top 10. And it'll probably all change by the time they get back.
Probably will. Mike, we see this big pack of cars here for the first time today. This pack of cars have pulled away. See, there are 4 cars back there. They're running by themselves, and then there's some behind them that are running by themselves, and that's unusual, especially this shortly after the green flag came out from the caution.
And the 4 cars in that 2nd pack include Derek Cope, whose car is damaged, and Dale Earnhardt and Ricky Rudd. Now Earnhardt, remember, got blocked in the pits by Derek Cope, came out with him, and they have lost the lead draft.
Ned, how many times do we talk about track position? One bad stop, that's why we say no one driver wins a race. It's a team effort from the time the green flag drops through all the pit stops, and at the end of the race, who can adjust the cars to make them best.
And you're going to run as fast as the group that you're running with. Now, I'm not saying that Derek Cope's has been in the wall with that car. Is it capable of running as fast as Dale Earnhardt has been running? And is that whole group of cars there capable of running as fast as he has been running?
Now, Ricky Rudd had to take a provisional to get his number 10 car into the field, and Dave Marcus is a lap down. Here's the lead pack once again. Sterling Marlin in front. And for more on Marlin, here's Ralph.
Well, Eric, Robert Larkins would be his crew chief. Now, Robert, you got your guy up front. Can you keep him up there?
I hope so. You've got to have a good dancing partner.
Well, who are you going to hook up with as this one winds down?
I don't know. It looks like Spencer's the only one that's alone. And we're alone. Everybody else has a teammate up there.
And Mike, remember, this is a crew that has put together at least one superspeedway victory every year for the last couple of years, and this will be the last superspeedway race for Sterling Marlin with this team. That streak has been active since 1991.
Now, when Marlin was winning all those plate races, nobody wanted to draft with him because nobody felt they could pass him. That situation has changed. The Larkins may be right. All those super team cars working in concert together. Marlin is going to have to go shopping up and down pit road for a drafting partner, and he may have found one.
You heard Ned just a second ago kind of get his breath again. Jimmy Spencer come right across traffic there and almost collected the car pulling up on behind him there. I tell you, that won't last all day. You keep doing that, you'll get a caller before long.
Jimmy Spencer has the scariest Halloween costume of any Winston Cup driver, and it's yellow and purple. Riding with Dale Jarrett, that's Terry Labonte in yellow and red alongside.
Terry beginning to flex his muscles a little bit. We saw him make a move a moment ago down on the inside, went 3 deep and got himself up there in the top 5 or 6.
Ooh, Sachs suddenly alongside Spencer, who has to back out of it briefly as Sachs came up the racetrack. Now Sachs is part of a 3-car super team. One of his teammates is right there with him, Joe Nemechek. There's that pack of 4. They're about to get a little toe off Chad Little. They have caught the pack, and there's Nemechek with Dale Jarrett in 88. And Jimmy Spencer, caught up in that high groove, is going to trip back a few spots. Now Nemechek may be overheating. That's one report we got off the scanner.
Well, that'll help him a little bit. He gets out there where there are not as many cars in front of him as there were earlier. That'll get a little more fresh air into the grill of the radiator.
And this looks like a parking lot. The only thing is they're doing 190 miles an hour, and that's closer than most people park.
That's closer than I like to see them run, especially when you got a relative out there.
113 laps complete, 75 to go at Talladega. We'll be right back with you live on CBS.
This CBS Sports Race Summary is sponsored by Texaco, a world of energy.
"74 laps remaining, 14 different leaders, 26 lead changes, speed reduced by 2 cautions to 158.7 miles an hour. Only 2 cars from the 42 starters have retired from the field. First out was Billy Standridge, and just recently we saw the Dallenbach car take a wild ride down the backstretch to be eliminated from competition. 23 cars remain in the lead draft to decide this 29th annual Talladega 500, and now number 2, Rusty Wallace, may be dropping back. What's the story, guys?
Wallace at 26th position here. Let's get the word from Dick Berggren.
He's got an ignition problem of some sort. They're not entirely sure what that problem is. This is kind of like trying to diagnose what's wrong with your car while you're on the highway, and you call the garage and you say the engine is cutting out, which is what Rusty's engine is doing. First they thought it was maybe the tachometer. He reached over, shut that off. That didn't solve the problem. Then he looked at the voltmeter, and it reads 0. Good chance it's the alternator. That is a lengthy change. He probably isn't going to make it all the way through this race unless they either change the alternator or the battery or both.
He's got to get 71 more laps out of it, Dick. Now, Dale Earnhardt on lap 105 was 25th, right behind Derek Cope, 6 seconds behind the leader. he has climbed to 11th, just 0.8 of a second off the lead. And you see 4 cars behind him in line. He's